just feel like you like really need just some bright ass nails? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You came back. In this week's video, what I have for you is another Chatty do your nails with me video. I got on Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me questions so that I'd have things to talk about, and that's what I do. I'm just gonna do my nails and hopefully you can do your nails with me and we can just have a little chat and talk about stuff. So if that's what you're into, go ahead and stick around and let's get into it. Here's the colors I'm going to do today. This is, don't look at my disgusting handwriting that I wrote while the truck was moving, by the way. I'm hide it from you so you can't see. I'm gonna use Posh Spice from Miss Raven. This is DP80 from Sparkle & Co. DP78 from Sparkle & Co. This is Peaches from Peppy Gel, and SB104 from Sparkle & Co. I'm gonna use my triple vitamin base and top coat. I'm gonna use Nail Addition Activator, my little kabuki brush that I got from my starter kit from Diplomatic, which I think they have starter kits again, and if they do, and they have new liquids that are on my list of things to try. So anyway, usually I start with my dominant hand, but this nail, this is gonna be a Chatty video, by the way. I probably told you that already in my intro, but this nail has like a crack in it, so I'm gonna give that one a dip real quick so I don't break it while I do this hand, because that's happened to me before and I was not happy. Do you ever get cracks in your nails? Is that something that happens to you ever? Do you see the crack right there on the side? It's just a little, it's gonna break eventually, and then I'm gonna have to shorten my nails way down. That's the game, guys. If you didn't know already, with dip powder, you grow your nails out, you break one, then you can teabag it, but that sucks and I don't like doing it. Or you just chop your nails off and then let them grow back again, which I guess isn't that big of a deal for them to grow back again because they grow. That's what they do. So, anywho. How you doing? How's your mom and them? You guys doing okay? I asked on my Instagram for people to ask me questions so that I could have things to talk about whilst I sit here and do my nails. So if you're not following me on Instagram, dummy, you should do that so that you can ask me questions, so that it can be like we're just like a couple of girlfriends like having a chat while I do my nails. And you do your nails. You can just do your nails with me and we can just talk and have a good time. It'll be fun. It'll be lots of fun. So anyway, I'm going to answer some questions, I think. So, I got asked how I choose my combos, and I get my inspiration from many things. I get my inspiration, obviously, from Instagram, a lot from you guys, if you're on Instagram and we're following each other. And I also get a lot of my inspiration from Pinterest. So I used to use Pinterest like years ago, and I like stopped using it for a while, and then I was hanging out with Tessa. Hi Tessa. And she was like, yeah, I see things on Pinterest all the time. And I was like, damn, I'm like missing out on this whole other inspirational app that I could be using. So I popped on over there and I've been using it ever since. So I do recommend Pinterest. Also though, like this mani, I got my inspiration because I was like, you know what, I just want to do like bright colors, like a sunset. So I just Googled sunset colors, and then I'll even show you the picture. And then there was this picture and I was like, oh damn, I like that, but I want to do it a little bit brighter. So I just, you know, started poking around in my colors to find bright that. So that's how I choose my combos. And sometimes I'll find like a glitter and I'll just be like, damn, I really love that glitter, and I'll just look at what little colors are in there. Sorry, it's really hard for me to talk while I'm doing like right by my cuticles. Try and find like the colors that are in the glitters, like the secondary colors, and use that as, you know, inspiration for my solid colors. So yeah, that's how I choose my combos. It's a good time. Trying to like move slower around my cuticles so that I don't have to like use a toothpick as much. Why? I don't know, because toothpicks work wonderfully, so it's just a new game I'm playing with myself. How close can I get without using a toothpick? Pretty close, I think. Okay, so there's that one finger on this hand. We're gonna go back to the other hand now, because that makes sense. I'm gonna knock something over, being ridiculous. Dude, you guys don't even understand. It's kind of hard to do this with the camera like right here. I feel like I have such a little space to work in. Peaches. I've had this color, Peaches, for like ever, and I haven't used it, and I've always wanted to use it, and I just never have. And now I'm excited that I'm gonna use it, so yay for that. Okay, next question is, do you have a sub bag? Wait, what does it say? Do you do sub bags? If so, which one is your favorite? I do subs. I do a subscription to Cuticle Candy, although I did just pause it because I'm so like ahead of my subscription. Because I have a too much gene, okay? And I really like Cuticle Candy, and whenever they come out with their collections, I always go and I order them. And then I also am getting a monthly cuticle pen, and it takes me like a month just to get through one. Plus, if I find a color I really like, I go and order a bunch of it. Like when the Baby Yoda came out, I really loved that color. So scent. Why am I doing this hand? God damn it. Anyway, whatever, we're just going with that. I really liked that scent, so I went and ordered 3 of them. And then, yeah, so, and I've tried a couple other brands, cuticle oils, and I just have a lot. I have a lot. So I paused that subscription. I get the Sparkle & Co. sub bag right now. I really like it. I have liked it for a long time. I do feel like I'm gonna pause it soon for a while. Just because there's so many other brands, and I kind of want to start, you know, checking some new shit out. So, thinking of pausing my Sparkle & Co. soon. And then, when I do that, I've been thinking about, getting the Diplomatic subscription, because it's like a seasonal subscription. So that sounds fun, and it doesn't sound like too much. I don't know all of the details, so I'm probably... Sorry, Lauren, I'm gonna like chop this up, but I think you get like 4 or 5, somebody will tell me, I'm sure, in the comments, colors every 3 or 4, okay, 4 times a year, I think. Man, I don't know, I should have looked up. I need to start doing more research before I talk about shit. Anyway, I've been thinking about doing that one next. Yeah. So those are my favorite subscriptions. Do you guys have like a picture hand? Like, is there a hand that you like better to take a picture with? Because I like taking a picture of my left hand better, even though my application is usually better on my right hand because it's my non-dominant hand and I get to use my dominant hand to do it. So usually my application is better, but I can just hold my hand better, my left hand better. So I just aesthetically like the picture better, so I always take a picture with my left hand. I'm setting you guys up to have a picture of the hand that I'm not dipping right now. At the end here, because that's likely gonna happen. What do you guys think so far? These colors are bright and beautiful. Let's see.
do you read? And if you do, what are some of your favorites? So when Dawn and I started truck driving, I was like, I'm gonna read all the classics, and or at least listen to them, because you can like sign up at the library for audiobooks. And I have a lot of time to listen to books. So I did start doing that. I started listening to a lot of books. I liked Lord of the Flies, Of Mice and Men, you know, Call of the Wild. Like, I liked all of those ones that I listened to. But I have to say, I really like books that make you feel something. Not that those books didn't make me feel anything, but I really like books that are like, they make you go, yeah, I'm gonna do something with my life. Like, I read Wild, just Wild. It's about a woman whose mother passes away, and she like has a drug addiction or whatever, and she like goes through a divorce and decides to go and hike the Pacific Crest Trail, which goes from Mexico all the way to Canada. Although she didn't do the entire trail, she started in California and stopped, I think, in Oregon. But that book was like, I don't know, it just made me feel something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it made me feel motivated in life, and like I want to like do something. Like, I want to hike the PCT. I'm never gonna hike the PCT. I could never do that. But it made me like just want to do more with my life. So I really enjoy books like that. I really like true stories, or fiction, but the fiction has to be like super fiction, like sci-fi or fantasy kind of fiction. Like, I don't like, this isn't a true story, but it could be kind of books. Those aren't my preference as far as books go. I also like young adult books because I'm a child. I just find them interesting because they like keep your attention, right? Especially when you're driving, it's like pretty easy to just like zone out, and you're like, not zone out from the road, obviously you're watching the road, but zone out from the book and then be like, oh wait, what were they just talking about? What just happened in the last 15 minutes? So it's got to be able to keep my attention. Anyway, that was a lot for that question. Next question. Hold on one second. I really appreciate you guys asking me these questions. I really, really do. It gives me stuff to talk about. I'm actually a very boring person. Anywho. Can we be friends in real life? Yes, Melody, yes we can. Yes, we can be friends in real life. And then you said, real question, I'm horrible at doing glitter ombres. I need tips. Well, if you watched my YouTube videos, just joking. I do have a video on glitter ombre, that I'll try and like add to the cards. I don't know, I hate fucking doing that shit. But, my best tips for glitter ombre is definitely the position in which you hold your finger. Also, it's way easier from the base of your finger than it is from the tip of your finger. And if you're doing glitter from the base of your finger, you want to kind of start your glitter on the skin, like shoot for the skin of your finger. Make sure your brush is not too loaded. Make sure you have a slow drying base. And then kind of like start the glitters at the top of your finger so that you can kind of see where it's going. That helps me. I don't know if that's gonna help you, but. Bailey, don't even start. There's a dog in the truck next to us. The truck that decided to park next to us, even though we parked in the middle of nowhere in the parking lot. So now she's growling. She's very, very friendly, but she likes to bark at other dogs. So much for trying not to use my toothpick. Well, I tried, guys. I tried. It's just so hard. I mean, if you saw my setup where my camera is like right in front of my face, whatever. Next question. If you could only dip with 3 colors forever, what would they be? I actually just answered a 3 color only question in the dipshits, which if you're not in the dipshits also, it's a group on Facebook. It's called Dipshit Spoilers. It's a little racy, warning, but it's a really lovely community of women who really just, we're very honest with each other, and we all help each other out. Tips, tricks, life advice. It's more of like a girl group than it is like a dip powder group, but it's definitely a dip powder group as well. It's definitely mostly made up of women in the dip powder community. Anyway, I just answered that question in the dipshits. So, I would say Sparkle & Co.'s New Year, New Manny, because I love that color. It's like my perfect like gray, purple, neutral, nudie type color. I really, really love that color. Then Doopsie from Diplomatic, because it is a stunning chunky glitter. It's my favorite chunky glitter. It's so beautiful. And Agnes from Miss Raven is a white. Oh, I just said Agnes and that wasn't what I said in the dipshits. Oh well. Did you guys see that? I got purple in my peach. Oh no. How the fuck did I do that? Idiot. Damn it, Tina, you fat lard. Anyway. Agnes though. I choose Agnes. It is a beautiful white shimmer. It's so easy to work with. Like, so easy to work with. It's beautiful. Yeah. Those would be the 3 colors I would use. And I think they would look really pretty together, too. So, bonus. They'd make a good combo. And my next question says, how do you like truck driving? Most of the time, I like truck driving very much. I think it's a lot of fun. At first it was like super fun because I was like getting to explore the country. We were like keeping track of how many states we'd been in, and you know, it was really fun. Now it's kind of like more focused, like we basically drive the same route all the time, but I love the fact that I get to be with my dog and my husband all of the time. I never have to be like, okay honey, see you later. It's nice. I don't ever have to be alone, and if you know me, I don't like being alone. So, bonus. Damn it, I'm getting like purple on my yellow. That sucks. I think I might buff it a little bit and do another dip. And that's how I'm getting the purple in my other colors too. Damn it, Rachel. You damn spaz. I know people worry about like tainting their colors, but honestly, the tiny bit of powder that you get into things for that, it's not going to taint your color. It's really, really not. Okay, let's get some clear on these bad boys. Maybe I shouldn't have all of my colors open at a time. I made it small like this, and I'm like giving it a good Yeah, oh my gosh, that's so much fun. It's a very fun Manny. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I really like truck driving. I really, I enjoy it. I can't see myself going back to like a normal job, sitting at a desk, looking at the same four walls every day. I just can't see myself doing that. Is my husband older than me? Yes, he is. Yes, he is older than me. I've always dated older guys before when I was dating. Many years ago when I was dating. So yes, he is older than me. The strangest thing that I have encountered from being on the road. Man. One of the strangest things that we encountered while being out here was we were taking a nap in the middle of the desert in California. And, I mean, it was the middle of the night. It was the middle of the night, the middle of the desert. We were in the middle of nowhere. And we're woken up to someone banging on the truck door. So Don gets up. It's my husband, Don. He gets up, he goes to check to see what's going on. It's this woman who's clearly out of her mind on drugs. Out of her mind. Talking about how the people she was with just dropped her out here in the middle of nowhere and could she get a ride into town. Well, we're like, I don't know, like 100 miles from town. Probably not that far. We're probably like 40 miles out of town. But we're still pretty far from town and it just feels really unsafe, right? And I had woken up at this point and heard her and I was like, don't just tell her that you'll like call the sheriff and get a cop out here to give her a ride, because I just did not feel comfortable. I just didn't feel comfortable. Yeah, that was crazy. And we like hung around until like the sheriff came and they I don't know what happened after that, but I mean, we didn't just like abandon her, obviously. I wasn't gonna just leave some woman who's clearly distraught, out of her mind, in the middle of the fucking desert, in the middle of the night. Like, I don't know what the situation was, but I also wasn't gonna like let her in my truck and yeah, no thanks. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. Lots of like random like cars on fire in the middle of nowhere. Just, oh, your car just caught fire. That's always weird when you see that. Yeah, see some strange things sometimes. Let's see. Have I ever picked up a hitchhiker? I have picked up hitchhikers, not as a truck driver, but like when I was younger and living in Kansas, I've picked up hitchhikers before. Yeah, I'm not afraid of a hitchhiker. Yeah, sometimes you meet some cool ass people picking up hitchhikers. Obviously, every time I picked up a hitchhiker, I've had people with me, so I've not been alone, because that would kind of be scary. And there's plenty of times I've wished that we could pick them up in our truck, but there's just, with it being me and Dawn and our dog, it's just really, we don't really have any space for another person in the truck, so, unfortunately. So yeah. What would your superpower be? If I could have any superpower, it would be flying. I actually, I'm one of those people who has like super control of my dreams, like all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, I have nightmares or whatever sometimes, which is a weird thing to say as an adult. Like, I have adult nightmares, but I do sometimes have nightmares. But, if I'm in situations in my dreams, that I don't like, I usually have like a lot of control and I can like fly in my dreams a lot of times. I don't know, it sounds really weird. But yeah, so I think if I had a superpower in real life, it'd be to fly. I'd want to be able to fly. What is the most ridiculous fact you know? I know a couple because I don't know why. But I know that butterflies can actually taste with their hind legs. It's very important for me to know that fact. And also, if you microwave grapes, they will explode. Fun fact. Did you know that? Grapes explode in the microwave. I wish you guys could like talk back to me. That's the only like sad thing about doing chatty videos, is it's like, what do you guys think? What would your superpower be? What's the craziest fact you know? But you can't tell me, because you can't. I guess you just said ridiculous fact, but, and are they ridiculous? I don't know. What do you guys think? Was that a ridiculous fact? What is the most ridiculous fact that you know? I would like to hear about it in the comments. I would like to hear some ridiculous facts. I like having a plethora of useless knowledge. It's usually my husband's job to be the plethora of useless knowledge. I got another question about how I pick my color combos, but I already answered that, so I got someone that asked me kids ? And I'm not, well, I have a stepdaughter. I hate step. I hate that word. I don't like it. It feels gross. She's not my stepdaughter. She's my kid. I would kill somebody for her. I would never kill anybody. Okay, but I mean, you know, if you're a mom, you know, and I'm whatever. It's not like, I used to be in like stepmom groups, and they do this thing called Nacho Kid, and although I feel like that works for some people, it always like sat wrong with me, and I'm not trying to like start drama. If anybody feels differently than me, I'm sorry, but it never really sat well with me to be like, well, it's not my kid, not my problem. Like, that just doesn't, I feel like when you marry your husband, if he has children, or if he marries you and you have children, that you guys work together as a parent to that child, right? I don't know. Am I wrong? I don't know. That's just how I feel. So, and I have a dog. She's a kid. And I have baby sisters. You guys saw Zelly in one of my other videos, and a baby brother. And I was like a teenager. I was like 16 and 18 when they were born. So I kind of feel like a step parent to them too, I suppose. I don't know. I think it's really annoying to my mother that sometimes I kind of try and parent them because they're not my kids, but I just feel kind of responsible for them and their raising for some reason. I don't know. So that's it for me. I mean, I just feel like I don't know, man. I love kids, but I only love kids that I can give back. Is that selfish? I don't know. Does that make you feel any kind of way to like when a person's like, yeah, no thanks? I mean, it's nothing against people who that's their life goal, or that always wanted to be parents. I think that's amazing. And it's not that I don't have like a nurturing personality or whatever. I just feel like if I was to ever have kids, and I've talked about it with my husband, and we've talked about it a lot, if we were to ever choose to like have more children than what we already have, I think we would foster or adopt, because I just feel like, and again, please don't be offended by me saying this, because I am speaking strictly for my life, but I feel like there are enough children out there that need a mommy and a daddy that I don't feel it necessary for me to create more life when there's already life that needs. This got serious. Anyway. So that's me. And when it all boils down to it, I'd rather just adopt a bunch of dogs. yeah, so that's that. It's weird. All right, so the next question, my last question actually, says, what was your personal biggest learning curve in doing your own dip mayonnaise? I feel like, okay, so when I first started out, I struggled with top coat. I would always get like little white bumps, not bumps, little white spots when I was filing and puffing. My top coat would always come out wrinkled. My top coat would come out like matte in some places and not shiny, and I know a lot of people struggle with that. And my best advice that I have found for those things is, first of all, I have a list of like perfect top coat instructions. I'll put it in the comments. It's exactly what I do every time. And my top coat never comes out fucked up anymore unless I have too much top coat on the brush, and then it might get a little like buckled or whatever, or there might be a little bloop spot. But I feel like a lot what helps with top coat is the liquids you use. Some top coats are just booked up. Yeah, since I've switched to triple vitamin, I've not had an issue with top coat. Sorry I bumped you. Back when I used to have a lot of issues with top coat, also I feel like I was using too coarse of a buffer block, maybe? I don't know. I've changed also my buffers and my my files. I always use a 100-180 grit file and a polar block buffer, which is a very, very fine grit buffer, but I don't feel it's necessary for anything else. And, you know, back then when I was having a lot of issues, I'm not trying to talk smack on any companies, but I was using Peppy gel liquids, and I found their top coat to be, just their liquids in general, to be totally honest, really finicky to me and difficult to work with. And yeah, so liquids make a huge difference, you guys. And I'm telling you, if you're struggling with your mani, anyway, I'm telling you, if you're struggling with your manis and you're struggling with your top coat or your application and you just don't get it, like you feel like you're doing all of the things and all of the stuff that people are suggesting and you still just aren't seeming to get it, it might be your liquids. And you might be using liquids that people are like, I love these liquids. These are the best liquids. You might be using triple vitamin. You're like, I just can't figure it out. It's not working. Try different liquids, because not all liquids are created equal. Not all liquids work for people the same. I just did the Manny Moguls review, and personally I didn't particularly like them, but there are people that swear by Manny Moguls, and that's okay, because that's the liquids they like to use, you know, and those are the ones that work best for them. So there's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, I think that's the learning curve, is figuring out which products work best for you. I personally feel like, aside from a few like colors, maybe, dip powders are basically all the same. Because they are basically just pigment and acrylic powder. That's basically it. I mean, sometimes there's like chunks that didn't get broken down well enough, but you know what? I've gotten that out of Revel colors, and I've gotten it out of smaller company a couple of times colors. That's just something that happens sometimes, and those chunks are pretty easy. You just give it a stir, pick it out, whatever, break it down in there. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, so that was my last question. Now what do I talk about while I finish dipping these? I don't know. Oh no, look what I did because I wasn't thinking. I'm sad now. Let's see, what should I do? I'm just gonna try and, it's probably not gonna work. Nope. Okay, well, we'll show you how to fix that. It'll be okay. It'll be alright, it'll be alright, it'll be alright. Basically I'm just gonna buff it down and then I'm gonna do another dip over it. And focus better on what I'm doing. Sorry if it's loud here, you guys. I'm at Iowa 80 in Iowa. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's the world's largest truck stop. So it says, although it's pretty big. There's always parking here. We went and parked out in the middle of nowhere in the parking lot, trying to stay away from people, but it's like, do you ever go to like a restaurant and you're like, and they're like, sit where you'd like, and you're like, cool, so let's go sit in the back corner, like away from everybody, just you and me, like. And also, if you're a waitress, do you hate that? Please tell me. So you do that, and then the next person that comes in, they're like, yeah, sit wherever you'd like, and they come and they sit right the fuck next to you, like, bitch, this entire place is empty, and you're gonna come just park your ass right next to me, huh? That's what we're doing, huh? Yeah. Can you tell that irritates me? I don't like it. I mean, it's fine. It's not like I don't like people or anything, but sometimes you just want like a little private booth with your husband, you know? Speaking of, who misses going out to eat? Me! Actually, we went out to eat the other day in Oklahoma because they were open again. It felt really, really good. I've noticed that restaurants and stuff have been really, really good about cleanliness, which is great, and keeping everybody separated, which is also great. So yeah, it's crazy the things that you don't realize how much you're gonna miss it until you don't do it for a few months. So I'm just very gently with my 180 side of the file, filing that down, and then buffing it. Yikes. Okay, it's gonna take a little work. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. Bob the Builder. See, I don't even have kids, you guys. Isn't that really sad? So sad. So this is probably ruining the pigment of this color, by the way. So that's why I dip in clear every time, like whether it's glitter or solid or bright or pale or anything, I always dip it in clear, because although some of the colors are not affected by filing and buffing, some of the colors will lose their pigment, and it's important to protect the pigment, or else why are we here? Or just do white. So, hopefully this is showing that you don't need to throw out the baby with the bathwater every time something bad goes, it's always fixable. And my cuticle, I didn't clean it up well enough on this, but I've got my metal file, which I can get right in there and clean that up. That's this thing will help you so much if you if it dries really quickly and you can't get it cleaned up before. You can do that to get it right off your cuticle. It'll look great. So they're super cheap. I definitely recommend having one of those in your arsenal of tools. I should probably just do a dip. Hopefully that doesn't, no, it shouldn't. I'm just gonna do another dip of pink over this just so that I can make sure, and then we'll do a dip of clear over them all. Yes. Yes, I definitely think that would have messed up my pigment if I would have just left it. See that? You see how it kind of looks marbled? I don't know if you can tell on film. Film? I'm using film, you guys. Did you know? This nail is destined to be messed up, so maybe you won't get a picture with this hand. It'll turn out fine once I file and buff. Filing and buffing is the best, so put the caps on these. And dip it clear. Okay, so I'm going to file, buff, well, I'm going to activate this hand, then I'm going to file and buff this hand, and then I will be back with a picture.
So what did you guys think of that video? Did you like that video? Do you like Chatty do your nails with me videos? Is that something that you're into? If that is something that you're into, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe. And if you have something you would like for me to chat about, go ahead and follow me on Instagram so you can participate in the future when I do Chatty videos. And also you could leave me a comment on questions you'd like for me to either talk about on video or you'd like the answer to now. I'll answer them. That's all I got for you this week. I will see you next week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye! Flavored water, that is the beverage for today. It is delicious and nutritious. Chop one, chop two, chop that ass down. Chop that ass down, chop that ass down. You ever just not feel like doing your hair? Usually when I do my hair like wavy, like natural like this, I'll like take a diffuser and fluff it up a little bit, but I don't even feel like doing that. So, you know, this poncho is actually on TikTok. You can fit an entire full size like bag of chips in this pocket. Is so big. So, best purchase I ever made in my entire life. That's all I got for you this week, you guys. So that's all I got for you nope. That's all I got for you this week, you guys. Sometimes you need some pineapple kiwi in your life. Lisa Frank wants her nails back. I love clothing that like you put it on and you're like, oh, this is a blanket. Like that's my favorite kind of clothing. When you can just feel like it's a blanket. I'm really been on a peanut butter kick, but like peanut butter is kind of high in calories, so I like to use like the PB2 powder and then just put water in it and like mix it up, and it's delicious. Oh, poor guy.